Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. CQD is not Latin, as I thought in the first recording. It's the predecessor to SOS, Come Quick Danger. So I did recognize it, I just didn't quite recognize it for what it was. Um, so what we're going to try and do is play with the C team and play something that would be a fragment that is in line with the other characters. And I just don't know if there's really a way to do this because all these screenshots are kind of just in different places. So I was thinking maybe we could do like the top center here, but then the top center here is not locked. More than likely that wouldn't line up, and I don't think any of these really are going to line up. So yeah, it does seem fairly random, and so we probably just are gonna have to pick something and go with it. And like, obviously if you'd played this game before, you would kind of know the better order for all of this. I also wanted to point out that we kind of have a unique opportunity here. Very often it's the cliche that Japanese animators will animate their characters kind of based off manga, where the character has a black outline and is just a white on white paper. So a Japanese character is pale skinned and white. So then when it gets translated over to the Western world, they very easily then make the Japanese person become an American person or a Westerner, just because they still are pale skinned and white, and it's not that big of a difference. And usually in the animations, there's enough ambiguity because you're not really drawing a human in the first place. So very rarely do you have a story where there are actually, canonically, even in the Western translation, Japanese characters and non-Japanese characters. So we do see a slight difference immediately in that the Japanese characters have purple hair, whereas the more Western character here is a blonde, although he's more blonde, frankly, in the 3D model than in that flat 2D image. Also, by the way, in the background of that flat 2D image is a bunch of numbers. Looking at the team leaders of each character, you have a girl with kind of a crooked smile and blue eyes and orange hair, and then you have a gray-haired guy with kind of a crooked smile and blue eyes, and then in between them you have the robot head kid who has, again, pale skin, a blue image around the outside of his face, a broken crack in his helmet that makes a smile, and then a orange stain possibly matching the reddish orangish hair of this girl, which does potentially imply that in some way this kid is going to be the child from the future or something from this character or this character. And these characters obviously are the important characters because the recurring characters otherwise I just don't think fit. Like it would be weird for the reoccurring characters of the two previous games to really match there. Anyways, let's hop into something. Let's just start at the bottom left here and see how this works. Like it does seem like we're just gonna have it all jumbled. So it's gonna be Monty Hall gamble.
Damn it. I figured brute force wouldn't work.
So this is the main character
So
with the
this is
purple
control.
hair.
Air, water, and electricity for the shelter are all managed here.
This is probably where transmissions to the outside world happen. But
It's disconnected.
Oh, I guess we can't order a bunch of pizza then.
So
huh?
the two
there are a
on
lot
the
of
screen
monitors
right
here.
now
I think this
are
might
supposed
let
to be
us review the
Japanese,
footage from the security
and they're
cameras.
just as
Huh?
pale
There are
as the
security
Westerner
cameras
guy
in this
here
place?
with the
Carlos,
blonde
it's
hair.
2028. I'd be more surprised if there aren't cameras hidden everywhere.
She's right. The ones I used for
But they
work
do
were about
have
the size of a woman's nipple. Well, I
purple
guess,
hair and purple
not
eyes.
Uniformly, nipple sizes differ.
A carbon dioxide extinguisher.
You're definitely a firefighter. Your eye spots different things
This
than us.
group is different,
Occupational hazard.
though.
Whenever I go somewhere new, I end up checking the extinguishers
Or
first
nope,
thing.
this is the same
I
group.
see. And because you do that all the time, you're able to save so many lives.
It's
She
really
sounds
nothing
very
much.
weird
What are you
in
talking
her voice
about?
acting.
You dive into danger without thinking twice about your own safety.
What also is weird about
You do
this
it
is
like
that
it's
the Zero
nothing.
Time Dilemma
I think that's
thumbnail on
pretty
Steam
amazing.
shows a
You know,
completely
I
different
doubt
character
It's all that.
in a completely different
What
art
are you
style,
trying to say?
which again makes it just
Well,
feel like that
Carlos
this
was
game
just doing
at
what
the
he
last
was
second
trained to do.
was
Isn't that right?
reanimated
Yeah, it's
to
like you said.
lock it
Ugh.
into being canonically
I'm
connected
sorry,
to the
Carlos.
two previous games.
He's acting out now, but
And at a certain level,
used to
these
the
games
rescue a
probably
lot
would
when we were
be
younger.
things that you would work
Sorry, but I am
work
done
on in
with
a
playing the
vacuum when
action
developing
hero.
them,
But why?
Because I grew
because
up.
they are
You just
mostly
sound
just
even more
puzzle
childish to me.
experiences and weird
January
story
1st.
experiences.
Worst way to start the year off. I've never not been able to say Happy New Year to Maria before.
So this is
Maria?
far in the future.
My little sister.
Well, take comfort knowing she's alive, at least. Don't forget what Zero said. Very few of you will find yourselves able to welcome a new 2029.
Anyway, let's just figure a way out of this room.
Suppose it's also
Got it.
possible that the kid
Yeah,
is
if we don't
Maria.
get our butts in gear, it might be 2030 before we even get out.
Like, we're getting really sarcastic responses. But now we're actually into some gameplay. Now, I think this is the first time we've had controller support on PC. Left, right, up, down, and then right cursor. Left stick is moving the cursor, which that feels weird. Let's see if we can maybe toggle that. No, you can't switch the cursor to be the right stick and the movement to be the left stick. I could reduce the cursor speed, and that might be something to think about doing later. It is moving fairly quickly here. A and B. Zoom in. What is this machine for? No clue. Looks like it's connected to the one on the right too. I see a loose cable sticking out. Not sure what it's for. Alright, so we've lost our voice acting. It's a strange machine connected to the one on the right. Which, yeah. I think the speaker can be slid to the side. Wait, let's do it. There's a depression here, and what's this? It's a card with boxes of numbers. It was hidden, so it's probably useful. Let's just take it in case. Alright, so we now have some numbers. 9 to 13. Looking upwards. There's a door here, it's locked. I wonder what could be in here. Is there any way to open it? I'm not sure. Let's look around. What's this big cable for? Well, let's see. Maybe holding it up to your mouth will shoot cola out. The hell it will. Kids would flip if that really did happen though. So all my praising for the game being voice acted kind of falls apart in this scene now, because we have the actual game getting back to a visual novel aspect of just it being written down. And maybe I won't read all of this, but I probably will read a lot of it. But there is also seemingly no highlight option here. To highlight on things that have been clicked. 9 to 13. Let's try this. 9. 10 lockers. Can't open any of them. There's no 9 on this diagram. But yeah, let's see. There's no like pop-up. And we can see that there's a decent amount of items, some of which will be combined. This is where the game tries to become an actual game, but then even the voice acting cutscene around this doesn't really make sense. Like, I think the idea here definitely is going to come from the concept of the timers and the watches being wrong, and it being an unreliable narrator. Okay. There's 12 here. And so if I was to count to like 9 and turn that on, that's probably not right either. So there's definitely a ton of stuff here to deal with. And I guess we maybe have just pressing left and right seems to toggle these dials. So yeah, I kind of suspect you maybe have 90 minutes in a room and then you forget everything, or you okay, south and west. South is red and W is pink. Alright, we can figure that part out. At least. Multiple potential interactions here. So now we have card 2, which shows 3, 10, 7. I kind of wonder if this is supposed to be some kind of Sudoku-like puzzle. But feels like we probably would need at least 3 of those. Still not sure what to really do here. Notice how I clicked on the top of this and it didn't really do anything. It brought me back to the switchboard. You can use the slide over here to zoom in and out. Interesting. Well, then I guess you zoom out. We can move a crane. But all I seem to be able to do is go backwards and forwards. Doesn't really feel like there's anything here to interact with, and yet let you zoom in on that. Okay. Machine here. Machine here. Seems like the first thing you have to interact with is this. And I suppose maybe this is a great way for me to go through this experience without completely ruining the narrative. Although I imagine it is going to be fairly ruined. 9 to 13, 3, 10, 7. 9. Maybe by doing this. Nope. Okay. Well, let's do the straightforward thought here. 2 to 2, 3 to 3. Maybe this is supposed to be a fairly simplistic puzzle just to make sure you know what Roman numerals are. Still wrong. Take a note of the shock sign. Lightning. Yeah, I'm confused. Let's see, I'm not really sure if we're supposed to brute force something here or... Okay, then let's make like we're flipping up a girl's skirt. The sunglasses, there's sunglasses behind it. Ah, so there is treasure from flipping things up. Okay, so we now have sunglasses, but the earpieces are missing. These are vital when it's in summer and the sun is bright, not so much in the winter like now. I've always liked it since I've always liked them since I was a kid. Doesn't seem like they make you look cool. Yeah, just like in the movie with the one fighting against the computer AI classic. The Matrix movie, I guess is what they're talking about when they say the one there. Although I don't think these look anything like the Matrix movie sunglasses. I have to say I'm surprised you're that old You know that old movie. It's one of my favorites. Okay. Let's try these. I mean, you can only see them. You can't use the sunglasses there. So yeah, let's just go ahead and check. It just says failed. Alright, so there's no way you're gonna get that correct. Maybe we're getting bits of hints in the dialogue if I'd actually read the dialogue, but they've now opened the door where I can just not pay attention to the dialogue at all. Just trying to see if this button would do something on the monitor, but no such luck. There's just no buttons to interact with at all. It's kind of odd how the game has just decided to let you go and stop holding your hand and just open kind of a world of pain. Alright, 4 to 3, 1 to 1, 2 to 5, 5 to 4, 3 to 2. Let's try that. Four to 3, 1 to 1. On the 1 is correct. Two to 4, I think. 3 to 5, I think. No, it was 4 to 3. 2 to 5. 3 to 4. I don't think that's correct. It's fairly obvious that this is a linear puzzle that you're just not going to get anywhere with until you solve the first part. 4 to 3, 2 to 5, 5 to 4, 3 to 2. Two to 5. Zoomed out. At a certain level. It does oddly seem like this really wouldn't work if you had to do this same room multiple times. And so I don't think that's the direction this story is going. But arguably you're getting very little story for solving a lot of puzzle. Yeah, and see, almost certainly I'm just wrong, and that there's more to this, where we actually have to use the sunglasses on that. Okay. There are 5 of these. There's 8 of these, 5 of these. Maybe the idea is to put it. But then there's also 12 of those. Alright, so directly up, backslashed, then I would have to assume parallel, and then backslashed and parallel. And we'll try this. Directly up. Well, weirdly, I only have control on this one thing. And then I have to use like right bump to select the other ones, and the game's just not really telling me that. And oddly, it does kind of just feel like you're gonna brute force it. Like, doesn't feel like there's a right solution. Otherwise, is that you just would have to brute force this. If you're gonna brute force things, then probably pays more to just do a north and an east and pick one. So move this to east and see if that turned anything on. Didn't seem like it did. So move this one to the east. That shouldn't have done anything. And move this back to north. And that too doesn't feel like it did anything. Really, this is the dialogue I would prefer to be voiced. Like, because it's the incidental stuff that's going to break up the monotony of a puzzle like this. And maybe I picked the wrong puzzle to be the first one to start with. Doesn't this layout seem to match what's showing on the top right monitor? Yeah, zoomed out, those lines are arranged exactly like the knobs are. Why do we need to match the angles like that? Alright, so I needed to have done this, and then memo. Let's see, you don't have a camera though, do you? So if I was to make a memo and write on the screen, I can't then turn it into a file I imagine the quest items here maybe are quest items for all the puzzles, but they may just be the quest items for this. What is our status, by the way? Right now our team is live and we have no idea about Q team and D team. Okay. / / / parallel. Let's try that. At least that's more logical. / / and then / parallel, and then inherently, because these angles are a little awkward, you just are never really gonna know. Okay. It's basically a clock, so let's think of it that way and look again and to get the angles. So it should be 2 o'clock. I think these are pointing the same way. 2 o'clock, then 11 o'clock, and then 1 o'clock. And it's not as bad as it seems, because I don't think if you were pointing in exact opposite direction that you would run into a problem there. There we go. So we did it, we checked it, and we completed it. Oh, it seems like we were right. So the monitor was a hint for this after all. Bottom's locker is open. Let's see what's in it. What's in here? So what's in here? A small battery, maybe it attaches to something. And this is a card with some numbers on it. So this is small battery parts. I guess that's what they're saying that is. That doesn't really look like a battery part to me. Well, apparently it is. But these sunglasses are displaying something on the lenses. Then attaching the battery turned them on. Maybe they're not normal sunglasses. Yeah, it looks like there are 3 modes, A, B, and C. We should pick one. A mode. Alright, so A mode lets us... Oh wait, there's a mark on the top right corner. Alright, so now we have this card again. Alright. Let's look at this. Well, you can't look at this and use the glasses at the same time. See what B mode shows us. B mode shows us a completely different room. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think we can do anything with that. It's just showing numbers changing on the wall. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see what C mode looks like. Video password required. Some of the previous the previous Nonary game may actually have had controller support. This is obvious though. So if the circuitry is supposed to be like this, do we use that for the poster? Or do we use it just for the circuit board? I'm just gonna renumber everything 1 to 5 on the left, and then 1 to 5 on the right. So it should be 1 to 3, 2 to 5, 13, 25, 31, 42, and 54. Let's just try that. Alright. 13, 25, 31, 54. Wasn't there a mark on the poster in an A mode? Sunglasses. He's on to something. The same mark keeps appearing. Must be some kind of clue. So we have to complicate this more. Okay. So 4 to 5, 45, 13, 24, 34, no, 24, 45, 13, 24, we'll start with that. Now leave us a couple that we could just potentially brute force. 45, 13, 24, 'It seems like it would just work if it was going to work. And so 31 is probably wrong, so it should probably be 32. Like, I kind of know what to do, obviously, but it's not being very cooperative. Certainly. So let's just draw the picture then, I guess. Would be to do the idea. Menu, memo. And I definitely need to change the cursor speed back. And that just stays there. The cursor speed is too fast. Let's go back to normal. The second one goes all the way down, and then the last one goes. Probably would benefit me to not draw this too badly. The third one goes all the way to the top, and the fourth one goes to the second one. certainly this is very obvious how this would work so much better in a touchscreen setup. Alright. So 45, 12, 23, 51, 34. And maybe if you come over here we could bring up the menu at this point if we wanted to check the memo. I guess we do have that ability. So the memo crosses the paths of but you can't really control things or have it overlay, so I don't know how helpful that really would be, particularly if you have to go through a whole setup like that. Like just coming back and having to check everything multiple times, it's gonna be a hassle. Yeah, that's the solution if you were just to make the same pass and the numbers don't matter. Of course, it's not really the solution. Good, to come back over to this and just pick a different color. How do we pick a different color? With the right stick? Alright, so 4, 5, and this is going to be awful. 12, 23. Yeah. 50. It's just getting bigger and bigger. Then the cursor's really slow when you get to all of this. Right. 45 is good. 12 is correct. 23 is wrong. 31 is wrong. Okay. I don't even know if I got that first input correct. Let's try this again. 51. Hmm. 34. 45. Finally. Very complicated there for our first puzzle, and boy does the game just feel completely different, like a completely different amount of effort and a completely different goal has been designed now. There's just no voice acting at all, when in the first Nonary game I feel like you would have solved at least one puzzle and then you would have had a conversation that wasn't voiced, but it was actually several sentences of an actual conversation that would build upon the characters. In this instance, I would expect there to be a little bit of a voice cutscene. I think that did it. Seems so. The door on the top left monitor is now open, so the poster and the sunglasses were hints for this after all. Okay. Now that the door is open, we can see that red should be southeast, blue should be north, east should be green should be east. Alright. So this one is east. This one should be southeast. And blue should be north, and the other one should be west. You can't really do anything. Can't really do anything more with that. And I think everything here is right. Yet this door is not open. It's a little unfair if the game was going to ask us to try all the doors a second time. Bunch of cylinders in a row. You see, going into mode A is probably not useful. That doesn't seem like that's anything. We don't have a password for C, so pretty much you don't have anything to do. Is it possible? I can't imagine that that's the trick. So we're trying to rotate things. Like, it seems almost certainly the case that the goal here is to have all of these lined up as the next step. Okay. Let's just double check. Maybe we're missing. Oh no, it says southwest. I was literally not seeing the S there. Okay, that explains why that wasn't working. A black stand came out of the floor. Does that mean we got the directions right? The light in the room on the bottom right monitor also turned On. Okay, so we can easily say turn on everything except for 2, 5, 1, and 4. And that should be a very easy, frankly, much easier puzzle than previous ones we've had here. Maybe the game is getting easier. Oh, the locker at the bottom of the left of this just unlocked. There is obviously a problem here around wanting to present puzzles and then having to write incredibly stupid characters who aren't going to feel out of place not helping you solve any of these puzzles at all, or giving you hints only when the game decides that you need a hint. So it creates this weird contradiction where the lines of dialogue are just characters describing what just happened, which if that was voiced and you could easily ignore it, that would be better by far. I don't believe it. I just used my gut and started pushing buttons. The correct answer just appeared in his head. That happened to me a year ago. Yep, that is the idea of the morphogenetic fields. And I guess it is important to a storyline to point out that the nonary game that happened a year ago was a recreation of a nonary game that came about like 12 years earlier. So this would be the third game chronologically that Junpei has been involved in. And no, just a coincidence. No way Carlos can do that. Let's see what's in this locker. Some kind of ear speaker in this. A card with 4 numbers on it. Right, so I wonder if we're supposed to combine the ear speaker with this. Yes. Wait, what's going on? It's video and sound. Do the sunglasses become a head-mounted display? Oh, what's it like, Carlos? Hold on a second. I see 3 modes, A, B, and C. Let's see, A mode. No audio there. B mode. Vree. Well, Znur. Vree. Znur. Rur. Znur. I think I know what that's supposed to mean. And the number on the wall changed as each sound happened. So at this point we have all the cards, but it would be fairly difficult to overlap them in a note if that's really what we have to do. On top of which, I don't understand any kind of like blob variant on Sudoku that would indicate what these numbers mean. Yeah. It would seem it would be fairly obvious you would just merge those 4 together. Alright. As far as this, that has a direction that set it at. I don't think we're ready for that yet. Alright, so let's see. So sound effects wise, that's whirl, that's vree. So it would be vree, whirl, and then no girl, snoo, snoo. And then ding dong. Okay. Vree. Or So, no, it's wouldn't really make a lot of sense doing that, would it? Okay. Let's just check the video again. Vree, Snur, Woro, Snur. Okay. And they're putting the audio on the screen, which is very helpful. Particularly if you were deaf. And that was right. And so we're going to push a button and complete another puzzle. Phew. The small monitors lit up. It looks like we did it. So sound was the key to it. Impressive. Alright, now at this point, these monitors are displaying something. Top to bottom is BER. But you can't really line yourself up well here. And so the code, we're hoping, I guess we could guess it. Second letter is E. Third letter is T. Hopefully we don't have to translate all of this. First letter is what? Can't see it. B. B-E-T. Fourth letter is E. Fifth letter is S. B-E-T-S. Alright, sixth letter. Going around in circles here. Best. Alright. Seventh letter then, I guess, would be the next question. Best. E. Eighth letter is what? Well, actually, there's a letter here that's probably not being shown, come to think of it, because there's only 4 there. Bested. Maybe. No, there is only 4 here, so. Bested. B is the 9th letter. By, we can assume that the 11th letter is what? F is the next letter. Bested by F. Where were we? 11, 12. F-I-R. $13. Yeah. Then we have a 14. Okay. Where's the keyboard that we typed the code into? We had that prompt before. Alright. No, it was on the sunglasses itself. So it seems to me like this entire setup here is to reveal something about the firefighter character. 14 letters. Have I seen that before? Was that the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 space 7, 8 space 9, 10, 11, 12. Exact right amount of spaces if you add spaces. 14, that's right there. 14 small monitors. I'm doing something wrong here. We need to just go through the setup again. Either I'm misspelling the first word. Or I'm missing something else. Yeah. The third letter is T. So is it better by fire? Or bedded by fire? If it was bedded by fire. That doesn't feel like that works. Boy, is that a terrible sound effect. Yeah, and I did say I wanted to end up guessing this, and that was a mistake. Oh, come on. This can't be... It can't be that often off. Can I? 310.7. Let's just make a memo. And so you only really have enough room for 2 pages, interestingly enough. So, alright, well, 310, that's totally not gonna work. Interesting, you can't cycle back with the right trigger. 10. See, that's as much as I can even remember. 3, 10, 7. 3, 10, 7, and boy, am I not making a good 3 there. Like, I should point that out. Is that yes, I do recognize that is in no way close to an actual 3. 9 to 13. Let's see. 9 to 13. It's getting worse and worse. Probably should just be using a mouse for this, come to think of it. Yeah, if I was just to pull out the mouse, this would be so much better. Just because a game has controller support doesn't inherently mean it needs to be always used with a controller. Alright. 1, 8, 6, 12. Alright. So 1. 8. 6. And that's smaller by far. But not doing amazingly better, really. 5, 4, 11, 14. 5, 4. You can tell that this would be better off with one more color. Also. 14. Alright, now let's see if we can generally get the idea of what that should spell. That should be B, which is hidden there, and then E, and then T, and then E. Maybe it's better. And then S. I wonder if it's supposed to be tested by fire and they just got it translated wrong. Bestus. B test. Ooh, maybe that's it. E. Be tested. Okay. See, I guess that's why I needed to do the whole thing. B. Y. And we can pretty much assume that this is, the rest of this is right. Alright, so we stopped on the Y, which was whatever symbol that is, 10, and then F is 11, and then 12 is I, and then 13 is R, and then 14 is E. Be tested by fire. Yeah, and I guess I'll probably stick with playing with the controller, but noticeably, you are gonna need to pull out the mouse, which at some point, then that kind of defeats the idea of having controller support in the first place, and it almost certainly seems to me like the reason this has controller support is because it probably had controller support from the 2DS, 3DS, whatever console it was originally on. These kinds of puzzle games, I nostalgically feel like there was probably more of them released for 2DS, 3DS, Game Boy than actually were ever actually made. But yeah, this one had to kind of stand above the rest to make it to get a PC port, but even at that, I feel like it's probably standing above the rest just because of its weird pedigree and weird story more than being an actually good game. And arguably this is the kind of game that would be better off being ported to a cell phone app at this point, where portability would benefit it over it being compared to a AAA PC game. As I thought the 14 letters were the password, oh, the video started playing. Green north, red northeast, blue west, pink south, and gray northwest. And that will open up the table. And from that you plug in the device. Is that 0? But what does it mean? I have to watch that twice. I wouldn't be surprised if there are definitely points where 0 is different characters and everybody is 0 effectively at different times. Green north. Really don't remember, so we're gonna have to type in the code. Green north, we got. Red northeast, I think we got that. Blue west. Let's just stop there. Yeah, so the only one we didn't see was the pink, and let's just see what happens if we turn that to the south. Yep, that works. So turning the stands according to the instructions on the video brings that out. I hope it was worth the hard work. Funnily here, we are going to end up probably spending about 90 minutes in this room again. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's some extra secrets in this room that would open up one of these lockers, or if we'd have to come back and open up these lockers, or that these tilt patterns here would mean something. I kind of felt like these were going to be lasers in the room and you were going to bounce lasers between the different cylinders. There's also these panels here and this here, so if this is the last step of this area, that seems weird. But maybe we come back to this room with a different team. Well, the door in the floor is unlocked. What next? Maybe. Let's watch a video on the sunglasses again. Let's not. I get the feeling this cable will fit inside that hole on the machine. Should we try? Well, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. And that's gonna start a fire. And we get an achievement, or a in-game achievement for that.
Oh, the fire is out.
We're finally back to voice acting an hour and 10 minutes later.
That was close. Guess that extinguisher up there helped, huh?
Yeah, I think so. But that's bringing its own problems.
Huh?
It doesn't look like it's stopping. At this rate, we'll... The percentage of carbon dioxide in the air is roughly 0.04. IDLH level kicks in around 5%.
IDLH?
The highest concentration level you can continue to safely inhale. You lose consciousness shortly after it hits 7%. And after that...
Now commencing the decision game.
So now we have to make a decision.
Game?
10 lockers are beside the door. Within one of them, there is an oxygen mask. Which locker will you open?
Damn. That's 0.
We need to pick one quickly.
But which number is correct?
Please choose, Carlos.
The probability is 1 in 10. No hints. We'll have to go with our gut.
I think it's just gonna make me straight up decide, and it seems kind of crazy. The non-re game was around the number 9. There were 14 letters. Fire would be 4. Seems like you're randomly picking things. There were no other numbers per se to really look at. Let's see, we saw 5. 1 through 5 before. There's 3 of them. There's only 1 mask. Yeah. See, this is crazy that potentially the fragment flowchart here is either going to be you die here or you get it right. And then we would just have to rewind to get it right again. Because the global flowchart here, where are we? We don't really even know. Like, we have no idea where in the story this is even happening. But very noticeably, there's no place here that would branch off into different endings. There's 4 endings here Okay, this was going to be the Monty Hall problem. The Monty Hall idea was, do your odds go up higher if they tell you that your first pick is wrong, and or do your odds go up higher if you pick something and then they give you an offer to pick something different? And mathematicians fight over that a lot, but generally I think the idea is that yes, if you're given a choice of picking between locker 1, 2, and 3, and then you're given a second choice to pick between locker 2 and 3, you should change your answer and pick something because it slightly increases your odds. But that doesn't seem like what they're really offering here, so I'm just going to pick 9. A choice is made. Wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't even really show you.
Is that your final decision?
What?
I know which locker contains the oxygen mask.
This is the
If there is
Monty
a
Hall
mask
question.
in the locker you chose, 8 of the remaining 9 lockers will randomly open. If the mask is not within the locker you chose, 8 lockers, except the correct one, will open.
This is...
The Monty Hall problem.
The remaining lockers have been narrowed down to 2. Which locker will you open? The exit door will be unlocked in 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Why do we have a voice,
There's no
a female
way we'll
voice
last
now?
20 minutes.
Well, in the previous game they had this whole artificial intelligence talking to you as an extra character.
What's wrong, Junpei?
Oh man, that's awesome luck for us. Our chances went from 1 in 10 to 50-50.
That's not it, Junpei. The probability is... It's actually...
Gonna argue mathematics. You can definitely tell in the first Nonary game there was kind of an obsession around mathematics.
Okay?
Damn, this isn't good. We need to get that mask fast. Which is it? Which one will it be in?
And I guess I picked 8 instead of 9. No, I picked 9. So yeah, the choice now is to change. And almost certainly the game will just cheat to give you the right answer, I think. That would be my guess, at least. But yes, statistically, I think scientists have figured it out. You should change at this point. Unless there's still a small chance that 9 is correct and then I'm picking the wrong thing, but yeah, this is the right move, so we'll just do that. And since you don't really have any puzzle here, you might as well just do it and be done with it. I think it's more important to change to the game than it is to actually have guessed the right answer.
Oh yeah, we did it!
Yeah,
Get another achievement.
but...
Oh, you gotta be joking. 1? Are you telling me there's only 1?
They already said there was only
The
1.
announcement. It never said that there would be 3.
You've got 20 minutes in which you could swap between a oxygen mask. That's somewhat doable.
No, but it'll all be all right. We'll just rotate the mask between the 3 of us.
We can't.
Why?
The door doesn't open for 20 minutes. The pump only has enough oxygen for 1.
Damn it! What the hell?
Like, you can't hold your breath?
What the hell?
It seems like they would
Hey, Carlos.
this would be the point where they would kill off
I know.
Junpei and
I haven't been a
Akane.
firefighter for 10 years to make the wrong choice now.
Instead, they're picking the girl. Notice how the hair is clipping through her neck there.
Hey, I'm glad I got to hear your voice one last time. It brings back that time at the festival. Remember? We went together. You found this weird character mask and bought two. You tried to make me wear one.
We're getting backstory as the
right.
character is dying.
You were wearing a yukata then. You said it had been your mom's before she died.
Yep.
That's why.
Once
it
again,
was
you're
so
getting
big on
reminded
you.
that these are Japanese characters,
I want to go to that festival.
even though they
again.
don't have like brown eyes and black hair,
No.
as a real Japanese person would almost
Put the
certainly
mask on.
have. I feel like in the first Nonary game, a lot of the characters weren't Japanese also, but I'd say about half of them felt like they were.
Junpei! Junpei!
I guess maybe it is a bit of an overestimate to say to say you could hold your breath between three people for 20 minutes. Although it kind of seems like that's doable. Breathe for 2 minutes and then hold your breath for 2 minutes, cycle 10 times. So we get a game over, kind of bad ending there, I guess. Which I think almost every ending has to be a game over. And in that ending, she escapes. And only she escapes. So that event probably takes place kind of further in the timeline. Let's see if we can now just check the flow and see what timeline that was. Yeah. That oddly is a you died ending, but it's a you died ending. See, this is weird because it kind of feels like these are just cutscenes that you're selecting here. It's a you died ending that at some point is also going to unlock something, and I just don't know if this path ever would be any other color than red. So, yeah. We guessed correct and got a game over. So if I was gonna jump to this point, we can potentially skip. We can figure out the skip button. Which button is the skip button? Yeah, there's all kinds of things on the D-pad and otherwise.
Oh, the fire is
That's bring.
Huh?
We'll just have to use the mouse.
You lose.
10 lockers.
Damn.
We need to.
But which number?
Please.
The
Yeah,
problem.
almost certainly the almost certainly the mask will move, and yeah, so if I pick 7 now and then stick with 7, I probably would lose.
Is that your final?
Yeah,
What?
the problem here
If the 8 locker.
is that you'll potentially get a perfect run.
This is.
The Monty Hall problem.
The exit.
20 minutes.
The probability.
Akane!
Damn, this we need.
Just skip through all of this before you even try to talk again. Yeah. So they've moved it now to 10, almost certainly. Yeah, there's potentially a chronological run of this game that you can play or try to experience when you're done doing all the other experiences, but you'll have put so much time into playing the game by that point, you won't bother with it. And so you're always going to have this weird non-chronological story that's gonna really just feel lackluster.
No. Why? No! It's no use. There's no way that locker will open.
Why?
It's just how the pieces fall. Looks like we're out of luck.
And definitely there's a narrative here that these are supposed to
Akane,
be lucky
If only I could have heard your voice one last time.
lucky turns of
It's-
events or unlucky turns of events, but because it's a video game and they're controlling the outcome, it's not really luck at all. It's
I'm really sorry, guys.
playing the statistical odds in your favor and then always being rewarded.
Save you.
Although that coin flip at the beginning was just luck. I imagine we will just have a lot of this happen where you die.
Are you sure?
You're taking the word of that announcer earlier? It's completely rubbish. All of it.
Then everyone's alive?
Of course. We need to go get help. All right. Let's go.
Okay.
And so in that ending, you see two characters, different characters escaping. And honestly, I'm not sure it matters who escapes at the end of the day. I think we're looking for a different secret. So we've now completed all the Monty Hall sections cleared. Interesting on the global flow chart. Which that'll be fairly easy to do. But noticeably we're not unlocking like permanent endings there. As far as 7 main endings. So yeah, I have no idea how you get from this to this, but it almost certainly has something to do with this point. And I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't even get to these points until we tied at the beginning. Like, because you really just wouldn't get any story if characters were killed right at the beginning. And you have this merged aqua blue color, and then it splits to blue, green, red. So maybe at some point we'll start merging things back together, and red and blue might overlap, and this might turn into a purple path where people are alive and working together. Yeah, and ideally, since we don't know where to go or what to do, I think you're just stuck. When we click on this, this tells us, I guess, some more details. And so in a lot of ways, this is the narrative you're going to get. And we missed something, I think, on this, because it says number cleared 3 of 4. This was number cleared 6 of 6. So what does that mean? This one said number cleared 5 of 5. But this is the overall branch of the storyline, so, which highlights that a lot of this branching stuff is going to be fairly redundant stuff. And if you really love the puzzle, I have to point out, like, at best case scenario, you go into this section and then you would just have to start all the puzzles in that room. You can't just jump down to one specific puzzle if you wanted to do it a second time. But I don't think there really is a reason why you would want to do it a second time. That was slightly over 90 minutes. Again, so they definitely are targeting that idea of each puzzle section or memory fragment being 90 minutes. Going forward, if this was the absolute last memory fragment possible, then I need to more than likely start at the top and work my way down, or target things on the right. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if it turns out that every single one of these memory fragments is actually an ending somehow, and maybe people really aren't dying. That is a possibility, or maybe they're just clones and getting respawned. And yeah, so in the next recording, I guess we try this one, and that's your best bet, or you try this one, or you try this one. So I guess I'll try that one, and then probably in the recording after that I'll try that. But see, there probably isn't any order to it, because this memory is the same as this memory is the same as this memory, so it's all over the place. So it just feels like I may have just gotten a little bit unlucky, as it were, as far as which path I picked. Well, we are already 3 hours into this game, and while I did enjoy the first hour and 40 minutes or so, them dropping the voice acting, except for in the cutscenes, is a big disappointment. The quality of the writing dropping considerably is a big disappointment. The quality of the puzzles are not great, and they really have never been that amazing in the Nonary series. Certainly, again, if this was a mobile phone game and I had nothing better to do, I was stuck on a train or something, then this would make a lot more sense. That's why these games make a lot more sense in Japan, where people do commute on trains quite a little bit for decent amounts of time on a daily basis. But in the Western world, in the United States in particular, where you don't tend to have long commute times, a game like this is pretty slow paced, and most visual novels turn out to be pretty slow paced. And the jumping around with the storyline really kills the main selling point of this game, where it would be like a movie, like the Saw movie. And in all fairness, the first Saw movie does have a bunch of flashbacks, if not basically half the movie of the first Saw is flashbacks. But there is still kind of a linear progression in that, in which somebody is talking to another character, they have a flashback showing what happened in the past that connects to what is being talked about in the present. That's not what's happening here. This isn't flashbacks and flash forwards just mixing together for a cohesive narrative. It is just random events. And so, yeah, I can't really appreciate randomness for just randomness sake. Noticeably, I guess our character did not survive in that memory in either ending. So, if there is a way in which that timeline goes further, it's going to have to be that the leader of C-Team decides to keep the mask for himself, I would suspect. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.